Man, the Chiefs, man. Too many losses from y'all this year. Don't know what's really going on. Y'all not looking the same. It's starting to become an issue, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. People are starting to. It's starting to become an issue, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. So let's go and let's watch this recap, man. Obviously, we know the Chiefs. Just I'm just not sure what we're seeing out there, man. Just, yeah, I'm not sure. Never know come playoffs, but hey.
From Los Angeles. Wow. It's the show that watched every single solitary snap of Chargers Patriots. It was rough. Oh, God. It was a rough one. Oh, it's First Things First today. The Chiefs' prayers fall short. Is it time to officially worry about my second favorite team? Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the 49ers win. Brock is all of a sudden the MVP favorite. And Chris Broussard has to decide if he's changing his Super Bowl pick.
He already did, I thought.
And finally, did Greenlaw's ejection actually turn the tide for the 49ers? Alongside...
Come on, man. Let's get to that shit.
I'm Kevin Wildes in Los Angeles. Look at my shot. I look handsome and beautiful. And Nick Wright, how are you doing? Sorry, I was just taken aback.
I'm doing
looking good, kid.
Today's a great day. We're out in LA. It's wonderful. In fact, you know what? Let's get into that college football playoff.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's do the Chiefs.
Talk about something.
What else going on we got to talk about?
Let's dig into the Chiefs a little bit. Trouble for Kansas City and Green Bay.
Ray got cut off.
Chiefs dropped to 8-4 after mustering 19 points and a handful of complaints from the fan base about penalties uncalled. Mahomes goes for 210, 1 touchdown, and a fourth quarter interception.
Not going to cut it, Mahomes. Not going to cut it.
Chiefs deserve to win this game.
All right, well, let's talk about
the fuck you mean they deserve it?
Calls in question. We can the DPI not forget the Hail Mary. That doesn't matter. The uncalled DPI.
I'm glad you acknowledged
No,
that.
listen. The Hail Mary.
People are talking about
I
that.
I was shocked. That was a big part of the broadcast.
Right.
The DPI that people are talking about. Let's show it to you again. And this would have set up a 1st and goal for the Chiefs with plenty of time, 4 downs, to work with. And I think we can show it to you, or we'll show it to you in a moment. But it was an egregious no call. I think everyone agrees it was an egregious no call, and it was talked about on the broadcast the way it should have been, as an egregious no call. Now, there was another huge play early in the game, was the 4th and 1 play that Jordan Love made, and there was maybe just as an egregious of a no call on that, on the Chiefs pass rusher right there. That angle doesn't show it quite as well. We'll show you the reverse angle where you can see it perfectly, where he's holding him in the hands of the face, right? Okay. I am here to tell you.
Okay, thank you.
I am here to tell you, if the question is, did Kansas City deserve to win this game?
Yeah.
Absolutely, unequivocally not.
Look at this.
Yeah, why would they deserve?
The Chiefs were thoroughly outplayed throughout that game.
They were.
It was, in my opinion, the worst defensive game they have played all year.
Facts.
Exactly.
Patrick, I said it after the previous loss to the Eagles when everyone was blaming the receivers for the drops. I said, listen, the idea behind the Chiefs doesn't work if Mahomes' margin for error is almost gone. He has to be great.
Perfect.
And he made a mistake on the Sky Moore play.
Sure did.
Sure did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Of it, you know what I think a mistake might be? Is Sky Moore being involved in a critical play at this point? Like I think that trust might be gone.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe it should be. But this was the point, the larger point I was trying to make before the year, or at the beginning of the year, when people were like, man, the Chiefs get every call. The refs love the Chiefs. What did I say? I said the Chiefs are in standalone nationally televised games, and the officiating right now in the NFL is not great. So anytime there's a close nationally televised game, it's going to seem like afterwards somebody got screwed. Today, the narrative is the Chiefs got screwed, and I'm here to tell you,
how did they get screwed?
The right
they
team
got outplayed.
Like,
got outplayed. Chiefs got outplayed, bro, period. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
I think that was pass interference? Of
Straight
course. Do I think if a few calls go the other way, the Chiefs could have stolen the victory? Of course. But do I think the Chiefs got wronged? No. Because I didn't like when people were blaming the refs when the Chiefs won. I'm not going to sit here and act like the Chiefs played a great game and deserved to win.
They did it.
They did it. Them. That's the NFL.
They did it.
You're absolutely right. Wow. You're absolutely right. They did not. No,
I expect
that from straight up.
I actually expected that from
I'm not an excuse maker.
because it was Clearly, they played.
I didn't say anything. I just moved my head.
And here's the thing, for all those that feel the Chiefs really got aggrieved, and again, it was clearly pass interference. I love what Mahomes said.
Yep.
I love that he not only didn't use it as an excuse, but actually said, I'm not looking for a flag late in the game.
Yep.
All right, I'm trying to make a play. But also, and I think you'll agree with this, the Mahomes scramble on the right sideline.
But sometimes the scramble's too much. Like, nigga, Mahomes, get the ball out your
He
hands, bro.
got
Come on.
hit. Right. He was
It's too
in
much of a
bounds when he
scramble
got hit,
sometimes,
and
bro.
that was 15 yards. So that changes everything if they don't get those 15 yards. So who knows if the MVS play even happens.
I think the refereeing has gotten, in some spots, so bad that the reason they didn't call DPI was because they, at that point, knew they had screwed that one up. It felt like a real-time make-up call. That they knew they had screwed that one up, and then the ref got scared to call the DPI because the flag had just gone in favor of the Chiefs.
On the Chiefs, how they played, they clearly didn't deserve to win. No. The defense stunned me because,
No
as
way.
you know, you said they got the best defense in the league. I've said definitely a top 3 defense. Yep. They got gashed for over 5 yards a carry. And Green Bay has a middling running game, not like one of the best run games in the league. Obviously, Jordan Love played well. They didn't protect Mahomes. He got sacked 3 times.
Way too many times.
And Nick, still, the receivers still bother me. And I don't remember many drops. I know there were maybe 1 or 2. But it's not just the drops.
Nobody seems
It
to
is
get
the
open.
lack. They don't get open. Like Andy Reid has to scheme them open. They don't really have a guy that can beat somebody by himself. And then there's a lack of chemistry between Mahomes and the receivers at this late date in Week 13. You mentioned let's look at the MVS first because everybody's talking about the pass interference. Look at this play. Remember, we saw it a few weeks ago.
He turned the wrong way.
So he and Mahomes aren't on the right page.
This nigga always want to have the crispiest looking beard all the time. Why he always want to have a crispy ass beard, clean shave. I give it to you, man. You always on your
when
crispy
that happened,
shit.
the Philly game, same thing. And then you got the
whole
Sky Moore,
goatee
the
with the
interception.
thing here is
I think it's
crazy.
coming up after this. Clearly,
Not gonna
again, miscommunication there. And then Sky Moore. I think he audibled at the line of scrimmage, and then they
slowed down.
Yes,
the recent title.
it wasn't a greatly thrown ball, but it wasn't a great route either. So again,
Packers read it.
the lack of communication at this late date scares me if I'm a Chiefs fan.
Well,
It scares me too because
it does.
they don't look like they're going to beat anybody,
all right, so the
especially the
offense looks
49ers.
broken.
49ers look
I
they'll
don't
whoop
think
their
there's
ass.
It
right
looks
now.
broken and boring. Okay. So here's 2022 versus 2023 through 12 games. A full touchdown less of production. Almost 60 fewer passing yards. Passes are a full yard short. 8 fewer touchdowns. Mahomes' passer rating is 95, which is better than Justin Fields, lower than Josh Allen by a few points, and a full 10 points lower than Purdy,
That's
Tua,
true.
and Dak,
That's a whole
who are
lot.
at the top. If you score 21 points, you can beat the Chiefs. Last
Sure
two games,
can.
Packers 19, Raiders 31. I bought your idea that, hey, Raiders, fork in the road moment.
The Raiders.
We're going here. Before that, obviously, 17 against the Eagles, 14 against the Dolphins. Offensive points, don't yell at me. 9 against the Broncos. It doesn't feel good.
Okay, so
4-game total for passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. 870.
Trash.
What are you talking about?
Quickly, Nick, give you my major indictment on the Chiefs. And I said something similar.
Go ahead,
a few weeks
Broussard.
ago. I no longer feel that when they get the ball late, they're going to win. Like when Mahomes got that ball, a chance to tie, I didn't feel like, here it comes.
Go time.
I have always felt that way up until a few
Right.
weeks ago. And that's huge for them.
So listen, before this season in Mahomes' career, the Chiefs had been held under 26 times. It has happened this year 5 times. So that is noteworthy. Those numbers are noteworthy. I do think some of the Chiefs' analysis about what does this offense look like without a star receiver disregards the fact that they not only won the Super Bowl last year, but they were the highest scoring team in the league. It was statistically arguably Mahomes' best season.
Right.
So it's not as simple as they're just missing Tyreek because he wasn't there last year. Last year, they didn't have a different star receiver.
Of course,
come in,
that's the
and
big
offense was
fucking.
humming.
Come on, bro.
So maybe it's a bit of the younger receivers are not making the plays that guys made last year. Maybe it's a missing Eric Bieniemy. Maybe it's that Mahomes, instead of having an A-plus MVP year, is having an okay year and it's not enough. What I'm going to tell you is this. The game on this Sunday against the Bills will determine the
They might fuck
direction
around and
for
lose
this
that
team.
game. I'm gonna tell you
If
that
they
right now.
win the game on Sunday against
Just
the
so
Bills,
y'all
in
know,
addition
they
to
might lose
ending
that
the
game
Bills,
versus the Bills.
they are going to end up being the 1 seed, and everyone will have taken a deep breath by the end of the year when they finish the year winning 5 straight. If they lose against the Bills, then all of a sudden, there is probably going to be a bit of the mystique broken because the Arrowhead Invitational will officially be canceled. We will know it.
gosh,
It just
I think
will
of
be.
some of them. I think that mystique is already. You're talking about among their peers.
I'm talking
other
right
opponents.
now. It might be, but what I'm telling you is, if they beat the Bills and you look at what they have on the remainder and where the games are,
Telling
they
you
don't
right
have
now,
another
they might
loss
beat the
after.
Bills.
But even if they reel off a bunch in a row, if they lose 2 straight to the Packers and the Bills, and they end up the 3 or the 4 seed, it's a whole different story. So that all of a sudden becomes, I would argue, this weekend at Sunday, the biggest regular season game of the Mahomes era. The biggest regular season game of the Mahomes era. Not only because you get to end the Bills, and by the way, it's a tough spot. The Chiefs got banged up.
He's talking out his ass right now.
Yesterday,
Yep.
they lost their
damn.
safety for the season. They lost their backup inside backer. We'll see for how long. And the Bills have been resting. That is, and they are a desperate team. But that's going to determine, in my opinion, how much real bravado this team should have.
Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the 49ers started slow, then ran past, body slammed, and teased Eagles players and staff to the tune of 42-19. It's their 8th game scoring 30 or more.
Beat that
Here's
ass.
Brock, Bosa, and Debo.
Beat that ass.